Cromwell was the psychopath, basically, who shut down the theaters and killed the king, Charles I, and said, no, theater is awful. The most influential person of all time in the theater, in my opinion, is Stanislavski, who was a Russian guy that was also extremely wealthy, and he was a musician and an opera singer. He was just obsessed with, and this is the big change, and why it's important to you, obsessed with not the outer aspects of your craft, but the inner life. What is your character feeling and thinking when she says, those white tablets that you prescribed to me, can I have some more of them? What is it? Not the lines, forget the lines. So he would have people do things like add an action to everything that they did. And by action, I don't mean action in the sense that I teach action about how you make someone feel. He would have them do a physical action, like, your line is, oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. So he would say, okay, go, pick up a chair and go, oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. And watch how it changes. Or put the chair down. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Look, even me doing that changes it. Doing a physical action, going to pick up the guitar, right? Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, right? Physical action changes the meaning behind the words. And he wanted to get away from the words. His whole thing was, the words have nothing to do with it. It's the behavior. It's the inner workings. But I just don't think that you're connecting with the, there's a kind of bird that never lights on this earth but one time, when it dies. He's making this up. There's no bird the bird doesn't exist. He's such a poet that he can think on his feet. He knows that if he comes up with a story to win Lady, he's going to have a job. And he thinks of this thing on the spot. It lives its whole life on the wind and he wants to start his whole life over. He's kind of putting this whole thing on you. Be like, look, let's get one thing straight. No monkey business here. I'm not interested in your bodily functions and, put him in his place. Because then when they fall in love, it's so much more interesting. Right. I want to see what the crisis is. And how are you going to resolve that crisis? How are you going to deal with the fact that you're rejected by the man you're in love with? He's finally said, forget it. I don't want anything to do with you. And I think the key to how you deal with it is, can I have some more of those white tablets? Because she's going to go take herself out. Or at least try to. There are signs all around in your life. Signs and signals. And so look for the messages. Look for the signs. See where it's warm. See where it's cold. See where you're wanted. See where you're not. Don't try to go where you're not wanted. Do your work. You'll find in the solace of your work, you'll find such comfort. Like no other comfort, that when you have to face crisis, you have the depth and the strength to do so. Thanks very much. I'll see you next week.
Kind of put me on the spot.